Hello, let's go. It's your man Flipmazzi. Thank you for spending 5 minutes with me today. Our Minnesota Vikings have a whole lot of problems, more than we can cover in 300 seconds. So we got to start at the top. KOC ain't cutting it. The Vikings have fundamental issues, and only the coaching staff can be to blame for the amount and frequency of these problems. The 2 minute drill, the slow starts, the lack of player development. These issues are not isolated. They're happening again and again and again. It's on the coaches. Now, the Vikings say they practice situational awareness. Let's see. There is the 37-second debacle at the end of the Chargers game. 6 plays earlier, they run 34 seconds off the clock on a 2nd and 10 run that loses a yard. The drive before halftime, they run a 47-second drive that goes absolutely nowhere. Halftime against the Eagles, they fumble the ball out of the end zone. Halftime against the Bucks, they throw a red zone interception on 2nd and 1. How'd they end that game against the Bucks? They go 3-and-out and punt in the 2-minute drill. That 2-minute offense, it's a problem that repeats itself all 3 games, 5 out of 6 quarters. They haven't fixed a thing about their play calling or execution. They're turnover prone. They commit a bunch of untimely penalties. Whatever they're doing to address situational awareness, can you even call it practice? Practice is supposed to make perfect. The Vikings, they practice, and it makes them podunk. O'Connell has to run a better 2-minute drill in October. Gotta see players in sync, acting with urgency and confidence. It's a missing part of this offense. Another KOC promise, the play calling. Now, a lot of fans like the play calling. There's clear innovation in play design, and the Vikings are moving the ball well. Kirk and his receivers are balling. Results are decent, 13th in EPA, despite all the bad turnovers. Okay, I get it, but we got to talk about the slow starts. O'Connell's opening scripts have sucked this year. I don't care about the nuance. I don't care about no film review. I'm getting tired of this process. I'm looking at results. 0 first quarter points. They've had 7 first quarter drives. 2 of them resulted in 3-and-outs. 4 of them resulted in fumbles. The Vikings rank 31st in first quarter EPA. Again, this is a repeating problem. Minnesota ranked 25th in first quarter EPA last year. This team prides itself on being resilient, being able to fight their way back into any game, but it's paired with a mentality that doesn't provide enough early on in the game. They're always getting punched first. Sooner or later, they're not going to be able to get back up. Kevin, you've got some special play designs. I'm not going to deny that. But your in-game play calls, week-to-week scripts, they just stink of inexperience as a play caller. Kevin O'Connell needs to level up there quickly. Now, a lot of fans hear these gripes say, Flip, it's up to the players, execute on the field. Offensive line is bad. Kirk can't deal with pressure. No run game. My response to that is, yes, we know all this, which means defenses know that. Kevin O'Connell knows this. These are not issues you can completely solve with scheme. Love it or hate it, the Vikings bet on youth. They bet on these players. And my issue with Kevin O'Connell and his staff here is those players have not improved. Coaches drive player development. That's an essential part of their job. The roster is full of guys where we knew their 2022 versions weren't good enough. There had to be positive development, and we ain't seen it. The only great players on this team, players like Justin Jefferson, Christian Darrisaw, they were here before Kevin O'Connell was. Cameron Bynum is the only young player who has taken steps forward. It's early, but the Vikings desperately need some homegrown talent, and a coaching staff that fails to develop players, They can't be trusted neither to rebuild a team nor command a contender. Now I'm focusing on Kevin O'Connell here, obviously. The Vikings have problems to fix, and it's not just on him. They got problems from top to bottom. But yeah, we can look at the head coach right here, right now, and remember what he controls. He controls player development. He controls the play calling. He controls how this team practices, and he's got to get better. He knows that. It was, it was cute to hear him talk about crowd noise last week. Just funny to hear him mention the fans after those same fans watched their favorite team vomit up and down the field on Sunday. You got no right to bring us into this, Kevin. Worry about the things you can control. You better worry about what it's going to look like if your squad struggles against Carolina, if our hometown Thielen profits against the Vikings. You better worry about week 5 against the Chiefs after 3 straight home losses. Don't worry about us fans in Minnesota, Kevin. We got the number 1 ranked facilities in the NFL. We got the best stadium in the NFL. You're not in Washington anymore with their field in the middle of nowhere, Maryland. You're not in LA where half their fans still live in Missouri. You're in Minnesota. And we've seen great coaches. We've seen likable coaches. They ain't here anymore. In Minnesota, you earn the fans' respect every year, every week. So just focus on the things you can control, Kevin O'Connell, and let's see a clean product on Sunday.